19 in our class, and we're still, very close. We get together periodically, so it's very nice.
I just loved it here, and it really was 2 of the nicest years of my life so far.
But it was when I started going to the orthodontist that I became interested in becoming a dental hygienist, and I just loved sort of all the activity that was going on in the office with the women answering the phone and just running around and cleaning the rooms and just, catering to the patients. And that's what first interested me in the dental field.
I liked dental hygiene. I had had a lot of experience with orthodonture, going to the dentist, and I thought it would be really fun to wear the hat. And they had, at that time, this big rheostat that was on the floor, and you kicked it with your foot, and the belts moved, and I thought that would be really fun. And that were the superficial reasons that I chose dental hygiene. And now we don't wear a hat, and we don't use that kind of a rheostat, but I'm still here, so.
Absolutely McDougal. Yeah. Yeah, I loved we had a great dorm mother, and she was just right. She was like your best grandmother ever, and she was always there. She was there, but she wasn't in your hair, and so I thought she was great. Dorm life was wonderful. I loved college so much I never wanted to come home, which I cried my whole trip over from where I grew up here. I was terrified, and then when I got here, it was just like putting on slippers.
I actually came to the Westbrook College Clinic as a child because I was in the Portland area. So as a child, I was a patient at the Westbrook College Dental Hygiene Clinic.
What was your impression?
It was pretty shiny at that time. There was lots of shiny surfaces. The floors were like glass. It was really something very impressive. Very impressive. And as a student coming in for the first time, I felt that our clinic was very elegant, actually. The mid-century design of the Grace Coleman building was impressive at that time. The Grace Coleman building was very cutting edge, I think, in the 60s.
It was very homey. It was very quaint, and you knew everybody on campus. You never saw anybody that you didn't know. There was, maybe a couple hundred people, including staff and faculty, on campus at any given time. And by the end of the year, you knew everybody by first name, and it was really just a feeling of comfort and home. And
for the past 4 years while I've been here at UNE, I've also been member of the field hockey team, and I've enjoyed every second of that, along with every second of dental hygiene school. I definitely do like the idea of having the split campus now, where you do 2 years in Biddeford, 2 years in Portland, because I feel like at first, if I didn't have field hockey, we kind of weren't associated with the Biddeford campus too much. But now that you do 2 years down there, 2 years up here, it's a lot better to integrate the students a lot better and have them feel like they're part of the bigger UNE community, not just the Portland community.
I was the first one to be in my room in Linnell Hall. And from there, I went my senior year to Melville House. Like now, it's much bigger. But back then, it was, a small community. It was considered family. We all were family.
I was fortunate to find Westbrook College and Diane Curl and come up here to teach in 1982. It was just a fantastic community, and living right across the street, having this small group of faculty and staff coming together frequently, as well as the students, I felt right at home right from the beginning. So I was able to be on campus in the library late into the evening, not only teaching my courses, but jogging with students, having interactions with them.
I think I knew from my first day of preclinical experiences that I would probably not be a clinical hygienist forever. And so we had 2 semesters of community dentistry, is what it was called, and it provided an opportunity for me to really realize that I could have a role, that I hadn't picked the wrong career, but in fact could find a place to have an influence and to take the skills, the knowledge and skills that I'd gained here, continue my education and be able to apply those in different ways.
A hygienist can clean your teeth every week, and it's not enough. You really need to be taking care of your your body every day yourself. And it's more than just the mechanics of brushing and flossing. It's also the nutrition piece, which I really enjoyed. That was one of the things I really enjoyed learning about here, was the nutritional counseling and how important that is as well. And those will never change.
Yeah, I was very impressed with our faculty. I enjoyed and respected our faculty, such that they impressed me so much that I wanted to be a faculty member. I think that I really admired their skill and their, I don't think so much caring, because I don't think of them as really being nurturing, but more in the way of challenging me and encouraging me in almost a strict manner, that to be the best I could be, to be professional, and I appreciated that, and that's one of the reasons I became an educator, was because of my my faculty, and in particular Diane Curl, our director. She was my director when she hired me as an instructor, and she was also the director when I was a student. So I found her to be an incredible mentor.
Lisa Dufour.
Why?
Well, she is one of the most professional, classy women I've ever met in my life. She's really such a wonderful role model, but she's probably the most knowledgeable person I've ever met when it comes to the oral systemic connection. And learning that from her was such a changing point in my profession. Up until then, I think I thought that, you know, my job in the world was just to make people look pretty and make their teeth look pretty. And when I learned what the oral cavity has to do with the rest of the body and how inflammation and infection in the mouth can really impact somebody's overall body, that was kind of a game changer for me, because it went from, you know, urging people to brush and floss so their teeth would look nice to urging them to brush and floss and telling them why, and if they don't, this is what could happen. And I really learned from her a sense of responsibility for people's health, not just, you know, the way that things look. And that was a really, really pivotal point, I think, in my profession.
It's amazing how time flies and how things do change. Like when you think of the different, you know, the uniforms now, and we don't do capping anymore. Yeah, I can't believe it's 50 years. That's a long time.
You know, we wore like white dresses sort of, but we were realizing dental hygiene now had shifted from standing up to being seated with the reclining chairs. So we realized, gee, the little mini skirt really didn't make any sense, and we started moving towards the slacks because, again, just utility. The caps, which had started really over 100 years ago, as really little kerchiefs that you'd put on when you, we do now. If we're painting a room or cleaning a house, we cover our hair, keep it out of the way. That was the point of it. But it had evolved into, you know, a symbol, starched, stiff, and it was just really in the way.
We could not enter the dental hygiene building unless we had a dress or a skirt on. Things have really relaxed since then.
Oh, white, head to toe, including socks, shoes. No skin was allowed to be showing. Your hair had to be completely pinned back, no flyaways, nothing hanging down. It had to be up. You couldn't have a long ponytail. Everything, you know, right down to your underwear had to be white. Socks, shoes.
And we could only use white bobby pins to hold up our hair. We could wear earrings, but they had to be white pearl earrings.
This thick polyester that didn't breathe at all. It was really, I would just be sweltering. And we didn't have air conditioning like we do now, so it was hot. And then you have that cap on your head and the glasses, and we didn't have masks though.
I have practiced hygiene for 40 plus years. And the beautiful thing about it is that I have never had to make out a resume. It's always been word of mouth. I've been very fortunate. Westbrook has such a good reputation. Dentists like a Westbrook graduate, and they taught us well at Westbrook, and I'm very proud to have been a graduate.
I still keep up my dental hygiene license, and I got 3 credits coming over to your, table clinics. And I love table clinics because that was one of the classes I taught when I was here, in the public health class that I taught, and I love going to table clinics. You learn so much from them.
Dental hygiene was a unique player, I think, because we really became the anchor for what was then called the Westbrook College campus. The large clinic, being up to standard, the way I mentioned, with OSHA and CDC, being popular with students, really delivering on the promise of the education. Students didn't just come to the program and learn dental hygiene. They passed their boards, they went on to great jobs, they became active in the association, they became, solid alums. So in a lot of ways, the dental hygiene program really served to provide a focal point of what the campus could be. Dental hygiene, along with, really a lot of the professions were moving towards baccalaureate education. That in some ways, although we value the associate degree and we understand the important role it has for transforming people and having that, big impact as far as changing lives, at the same time, baccalaureate education in a lot of ways has become sort of the minimal entry level. And we wanted to make sure that our hygienists were prepared, to compete in the world as far as the corporations, the community health, and really the leadership part. So that's what we focused on.
I can remember as a student feeling very elite, as a member of the UNE Westbrook College Dental Hygiene Program. I definitely think that there's a sense of, I don't know what the right word is, but there's, a sense of pride, I think that goes with this program. I think it's well respected, well known, throughout the state. And I think dentists are, they feel confident in UNE dental hygienists.
Had a job at that time before I even had my license. And so I was able to enjoy Westbrook College's reputation. They had a very good reputation, and the dentists in the area, even tri-state area, even nationally knew Westbrook College.
My personal path took me from a clinical setting, of a traditional private practice setting locally in the community here, to schools, to administering programs in schools, and that was very much where dental hygiene started. And so I think there are a number of people who have started careers in dental hygiene and have absolutely enjoyed the private practice or more traditional clinical practice, and that's fabulous because we all need people to take care of us. And so that's fabulous. But others have really gone back to the tradition and where hygiene really started, which was really around prevention and around children and how can we improve the health of our communities.
And the focus of dental hygiene really, from its inception, was educating children. So I think you're right. I think that was its focus, and we need to kind of step its focus up into adults and the geriatric populations as well.
The interprofessional education programs that UNE offers are a good way to have different programs meet and just talk about patients instead of just looking at them straight through your curriculum. You can look at them from different angles. You definitely learn a lot, things you'd never think of before, probably just through your own curriculum. Like different ways for, say you have a patient that's going through physical therapy and they can't use their right hand very well. You can learn things through the physical therapy students that different techniques to help your patient be able to hold a toothbrush again or be able to floss again, or even better. So it's just things like that that definitely help with bringing the whole picture together and having interprofessional professions be together and working together in furthering health in their patients, not just through their certain curriculum, but through the whole picture.
I think that dental hygiene is changing, and I think that our program can make a big difference in the state, regionally, and even nationally. We will continue at least for the next 50 years, absolutely.
I would like to give back to my own community, which I've kind of learned a lot through this school. To give back to where you came from is a great thing, whether it's giving back to your elementary school, your high school, or the town you live in, or even this college you went to. Giving back to what the people that helped you get to where you are, I think, is a big thing that can really help you out.
You know, this is an exciting time here on the Portland campus of the University of New England in that 50 years of dental hygiene, a new dental clinic under construction, the process of having an opportunity for dental hygiene students and our future dental students to work together in a clinical environment really, again, is the system and the university really evolving to meet the needs of the community and to provide an opportunity for the professions to work together in a way that really happens every day in clinical practice. Dentists and hygienists are working together, and we're providing an opportunity here, or we will be starting next year, for students on this campus to learn in the fields of dental hygiene and in dentistry, and so those two further coming together here on this campus.